There's a lot of Knipex tools here that some people don't have and also don't talk about much if they do have them. So I'm going to try to cover those a little bit more in depth for people so you can see the range of Knipex tools that you can get into and how they can help you out. And before I even get started, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to say it Knipex or Knipex or Knipex or Knipex or Pex, hey man, that's cool with me. Say it any way you want. I got done filming and totally forgot to film this one. This is honestly one of my favorite tools by them. This is their TwinGrip pliers. They replace basically your slip joints. They lock into many more spots. They actually lock into the spot. They don't slip out of that. And they've also got a really cool tip on them that's good at grabbing fasteners from the top. So let's say you're going at a nutter bolt from the top. That actually gives you a little bit of an advantage in there versus just having the straight jaws like a regular slip joint. Now, back to the regular scheduled video. So we've got the Knipex Pliers wrench right here, which is a really cool design. They lock into multiple different places. And I'll show you, this one's got a 2.5-inch mouth on it all the way wide open. So that's a huge nut you'll be taking out here. And I got the bigger one because specifically I want the big leverage on that. I gotta say, I really love this tool. Moving on, this is one of their most popular designs. This is the Cobra, water pump Cobra pliers. And they also lock into place. Huge mouth on this one as well. And I'll put all the links down in the description if you're interested in any of these. This is a 2.5-inch mouth on a 12-inch tool. Provides tons of leverage, locks into place, and it has this unique jaw design, which is supposed to be able to kind of adjust itself to be able to grab the bigger nuts better when the jaw is open. Here is one of my first ever Knipex tools. This one is their extra slim Cobra, and I love this thing. It's got a slightly different jaw or beak design here. The angle is a lot different, and it kind of has a sharper nose to it as well, and is a little bit slimmer in the hips. So this one reaches into a lot of spots just like the original Cobras do, and still has quite a big mouth for the size of it. I'm almost 2 inches there on that one. This one is one that a lot of people don't know about that I think you should probably get into. Here is their Raptors. This one's a unique tool that has a very stout jaw design. It's meant to get into weird spots to pull out nuts and bolts and fasteners that are rounded off. This kind of grabs at a weird angle. It kind of crunches in on the fasteners. It doesn't need a completely perfect fastener. It can grab stuff that's kind of rounded off. This is their pipe grips. This is one of their smaller pipe grip pliers. I actually picked this one up because I was interested in using it possibly for some oil filter changes. It's got teeth that go all the way back to there, and the nice thing is this locks into so many different positions where a lot of oil pump pliers out there, they only have like 3 or 4 different positions that you can lock them in. And I'm sure I'll find something else to use this on, but that's specifically the reason I bought those. The Electrician's wire strippers, these are amazing. They lock into place, and they just feel so much better than any of my other Electrician style wire strippers, especially the cheap ones that I was using for far too many years. These are very nice designs, super thick here, even thicker at the tip there for your added leverage. Everything's marked nicely, and it's got some wire cutters, and the lock on it is very, very nice. This is one that you don't see very often. This is their cycle pliers, and this one's the angled cycle pliers. I bought this specifically to pull on springs. You can see up there, they leave you a little bit of room so that you can grab the end of a spring, pull on it, and have room to work with it and release it. And I also use them kind of like a slip joint every now and again, depending on what I have to grab or pull or hold on to. It's got a couple unique jaw designs in there that can really help you out with some interesting things that you'd be working on. This one here, a lot of people don't know that Knipex makes a great locking plier. These are real strong, and they are heavy built. They're probably twice the weight of my other locking pliers this exact size from a very popular brand, but these are super awesome. Part number 4114250. And again, I'll put the links down in the description so you don't have to cross-reference all these part numbers. And this one's got a really cool beak design on it, jaw design. I call them beaks every now and again. It's got a spot to hold a smaller fastener up here and a bigger fastener in the back or whatever you're holding. And then it does close tight at the top there as well. So if you really need to get tight on something, like if you're doing 2 sheets of metal, you can still grip that at the front. And they do make other jaw designs too. This is their needle nose or long nose pliers, as they call them. I have these sitting out on my workbench all the time. They work great. They've got a little bit of, unfortunately, a little bit of corrosion forming because I'm in a winter garage here, so it gets a lot of moisture in the garage. I got to put some WD-40 on these. This here is one of their smallest tools. This is their extra small, extra thin pliers wrench. This is only like a 5-inch tool, maybe even 4. Let me check this. Let's call it 4-inch tool. So this could fit in your pocket and probably not take up a whole lot of room. I mean, it's smaller than most pocket knives. And why I picked it up is for when you're working on something that's super thin. This can get into some really, really tight spots. You can see that's like less than, that's almost just over 1/16 of an inch thick. So that's why I picked these up. So you can get in some really tight spots, start wiggling around. Whereas like, you know, these, they wouldn't fit in the same spot. These are my extra slim Cobras versus the extra small or extra slim pliers wrench. Your average diagonal cuts, I've used them quite a bit. They have performed everything I've needed them to do, and they'll probably continue to live on the workbench. Those have been a good one. This is the Knipex combo pliers. This is an interesting one. They got a cutter down there. They've got like a pretty decent toothed jaw and then a smaller toothed jaw with a hole through it. So you could probably grab, like, I'm going to actually take these fishing. I'm going to put my fishing hook through there when I'm tying up the line. And you can also cut a fishing hook with it. I've done that in a different video. This is kind of a lesser known Knipex tool. And I think it's one that everybody should probably be keeping an eye on. Everyday size Cobras, the water pump pliers, but it still opens pretty wide. That's almost 1.5 inches there on the opening on these smaller ones here. I'm impressed with these. That's why I have a few different versions. Like this one obviously will fit into some easier spots than the big boy, but you got to get the leverage out of the big boy, which is also why I picked up the comfort grip on the big one, so that when you're doing high leverage stuff and you got to really give it the oof, you're not giving it the oof straight into your palm. This is the ear clamp pliers, which can be used for a whole wide range of weird stuff. But what they are actually designed for is for clamping down the ends of ear clamps or fuel clamps, some people would refer to them as, on vehicles. They can be used as kind of an end cutter as well. So they do have a sharp end to them, or kind of this open one. So this is the clamp. That would kind of be the cutter, depending on how you decide to use these. And I'm sure there's another application for them, but that's what I've used them for. I had to have an ear clamp plier when I was redoing a fuel system on a vehicle, and so I decided to get one of the best ones out there. Now let's talk prices a little bit. The bigger ones that you get from this brand, Knipex, they are going to cost more money. The smaller stuff tends to not be all that expensive. Like, these are very affordable. These are very affordable. So are these. The specialty tools, it's hard for me to say what's affordable because you're only going to use it like a couple times maybe. I picked these up on a super awesome sale. I think they were like less than 20 or 30 bucks when it was a Black Friday sale. These are also a great deal. These are like 20-something dollars. The other one that was a real good deal, I say bang for the buck. This is probably the best one out there. The Knipex extra small or extra slim Cobras. These are one of my favorite tools in the garage. I tend to grab these first whenever I'm going after something, as long as I know I've got enough space to put the tool in the space. Whereas if this one wouldn't fit, I'd probably be going for maybe this one. If this one wouldn't fit, well, I can try it with these super slim jaws. If that one doesn't fit, well, then maybe this one. If this one doesn't fit, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Here they are.